Hello there, welcome back to my channel, and yeah, I'm actually on camera today. It's been a little while, hasn't it? But yeah, it's good to be back. And today I'm going to be showing you how I made my interpretation of Del Boy, of course of Only Fools and Horses, which I'm sure you've seen at some point because it's so well known as a TV show. So yeah, let's go see how I get on. So to get things started, I'm just going to wipe down my clay boards with a wet wipe and just some kitchen roll. It's always good to start with a clean slate. And I'm going to start with Del Boy's head, I think, really because it's what I usually start with really. It's nice to get a sense of the project at hand, so just going to ensure that it's nice clean clay that I'm working with. So I'll just root out any bits of debris with my blade cutting tool. And I just need to spend quite a lot of time actually just trying to work out Del Boy's face shape. And I have to say this is a really odd project to be working on in many ways because David Jason looks really like my dad. So it's really challenging to try and get my brain to try and concentrate on the subject at hand really without any kind of bias coming in any way. Basically my dad was like a Glaswegian brown-haired version of David Jason. So yeah, it's going to be quite a challenge to try and ensure that the likeness is more David Jason or Del Boy and less like Clay Disarray's dad. I'd be interested to hear if you've got any lookalikes in your own family. I've been told a few over the years for myself actually. I've been likened to Cheryl Baker a fair few times, and if you're outside of the UK you might not know who she is, but she was in a really cheesy pop band in the 80s called Bucks Fizz. And who else was there? Gina Davis, Paula Abdul at one point. I can't see either of those at all really. But yeah, I'll be really interested to hear who you have been told that you resemble. Let me know down below. So now I'm just moving on to the base, as I'm happy so far with Del Boy's likeness, but we'll see how that goes as the project moves on. And I'm just going to work in a very sort of basic white base this time around, really because I'll be making Rodney in the next few weeks I imagine, so I just need to ensure that the base is an easy colour to match really, and you can't get any easier than white polymer clay. So I've been looking up some facts about Only Fools and Horses and David Jason, but apparently Only Fools and Horses received the highest ever UK television audience, and that was for an episode on Boxing Day in 1996 where it received 24.3 million views. That's astonishing really, isn't it, when you consider that the UK currently has, I think it's 66 million population. Gosh, that would be a substantial ratio of the amount of people. But you know, it was pre-internet days, so or in the very early internet days, so yeah, people didn't have a lot of choice really about what they watched. So yeah, I guess there's no real surprise there, but it was really popular. Certainly I remember it being so anyway. You know, everybody loved a bit of Only Fools and Horses. And interestingly, David Jason helped to create the overall look for the character of Del Boy, so you know, all the cheap gold jewellery, etc. I think he based the look on you know, all the characters that he'd met throughout his own life really. He trained actually as an electrician after school. I think he was really keen to go into acting, but his father wanted to ensure that he had a trade first. So yeah, he trained as an electrician, so no doubt he met some real characters along the way, really, that he was able to go on to base, or certainly the look of Del Boy on. So yeah, it was really interesting. And David Jason was born David Whites, and I don't know the reason why he changed his name. I don't know whether it was equity or whether he just, you know, fancied a name with a bit more pizzazz, really, but he chose the name Jason from the movie Jason and the Argonauts. So you know, it goes to show how influential that film is. It's just brilliant, really, isn't it? I'm really keen to try and make a character from Jason and the Argonauts at some point, but you know, Harryhausen's work is so incredible that you almost don't want to go near it, really, as a sculptor, because yeah, it's just too brilliant, I think. If you're interested in the tools that I use, I've got a list down below in the description, so by all means go and take a look. And they are affiliate links, actually, so I do make a tiny commission if you choose to purchase anything, but that's entirely up to you. So now I'm going to put little Del Boy in a distinctive red polo neck jumper or top, and I'll put a bit of bling over the top as well, because he's got a very distinct look going on with his D letter necklace. And now I can move on to his iconic coat, really. So it took a little while trying to get the right colour, actually. It's looks a lot easier than it is, actually, this kind of colour. You think it's kind of just a sort of generic beige, but it took quite a while to get right. And I'll just give him a little cigar, because he's always got one on the go, or seemingly. Not the healthiest, really, is it? And now I just need to go around and create a whole load of sheepskin kind of detail, really. So I took quite a lot of time, actually, trying to, you know, just create the right aesthetic, really. But I think I ended up with something fairly convincing in the end. But it took quite a long time to make this coat, though, I have to say, just because of all the detail on it. But if you know my channel and you know me, I do like a bit of detail. And incidentally, if this is the first video of mine that you're watching, I'm Lizzie, and I'm a polymer clay artist and illustrator, and I generally make weekly videos here on my channel about my polymer clay sculptures, but I do have tutorials and some kind of arts advice videos in the mix as well, so by all means go and hit the subscribe button if you're interested to see more. And remember to hit the bell for notifications as well. As we're now on the run up to Christmas, though, I'll be making a fair few Christmas themed tutorials over the next few weeks, and I do aim them really at kind of beginner levels so everybody can get involved, so by all means keep your eye out for those. And yeah, I'm still working on the detail on this coat. It's yeah, it certainly took forever, or seemingly so. And here is hopefully where Del Boy will start looking like Del Boy and not my dad. I think the dark hair or the black hair is yeah, really making him look a little bit different, but yeah, I can still see my dad in in the model, and I can't help it, you know, it doesn't matter too much as long as it looks like Del Boy, or sufficiently like Del Boy. That's all that matters, really. So Here I just need to add a little flat cap, and I ended up playing around with this for quite some time. Even though it looks like a really simple structure, making hats can be, yeah, quite tricky, but I think I managed something fairly convincing in the end. So I went on to play around with him a little more away from camera, and yeah, here he is, all done. And yeah, 80% Del Boy, 20% my dad, but it doesn't matter too much. Overall, I'm really pleased with this model. It was a real opportunity to really go wild with some detail, and yeah, I'll be making Rodney at some point soon. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be back really soon with a Christmas themed tutorial, so I'll see you then. Bye bye.